David, for that introduction and for breaking down the components and elements of social enterprise for iBakery. I'm now going to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of iBakery. iBakery had very unique strengths. The first one that is that iBakery served two very distinct clients. One was the corporate clients and one was the individual customer. iBakery had well over 120 corporate accounts that included universities, hospitals, construction companies, engineering companies, and banks, just to name a few. Also, the individual client was those that lived in a community or came from different community that purchased the baked goods for takeaway consumption or even to eat on site there at the local cafe. So that was a great strength to be able to serve two different sectors. The second strength was that iBakery helped the disabled while serving the needs of the community. Over 50% of iBakery's employees were all disabled. That enabled iBakery to engage able employees and enable employees on a one-to-one ratio. This created a I can do it attitude for the disabled community. It also raised awareness. This allowed people to recognize, participate, and encourage the participation of disadvantaged people in the workforce. This led to public engagement. Through the media, the social mission was portrayed of iBakery, and it also encouraged volunteerism. They had a strong volunteerism program, and they also had people contributing that was not just time but also talent. For example, they had a professional videographer contribute and make a video that would have cost them thousands and thousands of dollars. The last strength of iBakery that I'm going to talk about, as you can see on the slide, are the performance indicators. They use more than just sales performance to indicate how well the staff were doing. They had three measures of unique performance indicators. They included training performance, attainment of process design, and whether or not the staff shared the vision of iBakery. The training of performance was about bringing in outside professional trainers to train the staff on specialized aspects of baking. And the indicator was how well folks took to the training, understood, and implemented the training. They were recognized for those efforts. Also, the attainment of the process design. It was a very complicated process to work there with the enabled and able-bodied staff. So attitude and performance and how well you attain the process design was an indicator. And the vision also was a great indicator and very unique because it was important to accept and understand the vision of iBakery, especially for the employees. So those are the strengths. Some of the weaknesses included the social mission versus stability. The social mission of iBakery is all about inclusion. They wanted to make sure that the disabled community felt included through a team-led service, which was what they did. The problem with that and financial stability was that financial stability was often challenged with either one or two actions. One, taking an action to lose a job opportunity, or not taking an action to let an operating cost occur. So that was always a constant battle. Do we stick to the mission or do we worry about how much it's going to cost us? Number two, setting margins. The margins were set to compete with fine price bakeries, usually 70% above market price for their products. This made it very hard to lower or raise the margins for any reasons, whether it was because of the swing of business or economic conditions. They just didn't have the room to adjust the margins in order to maintain substantial profit gains. The second weakness was there was no initial advertising budget. When iBakery was first created, they didn't have an advertising budget. But through the community awareness, the media, and just the popularity, the business really grew. And with that growth, as of a growth of any booming business, they didn't have the budget to expand on advertising. Last, the biggest weakest was maintaining able-bodied staff versus unable-bodied staff. The disabled staff, they had a 50% retention rate of the able-bodied staff for several different reasons. The first reason was that the workload was very heavy. It was more than a normal bakery job position because of the disabled to able staff ratio. The second was the vision. One of their strengths also plays on one of their weaknesses. The vision and the process was very hard for some able-bodied staff members. It's very unique. You have to embrace the social mission and understand the mission and be able to adopt a different work pace and process. And obviously 50% of the folks couldn't. And at the beginning also the pay was very low. So the disabled staff retention rate was a little better. It was 30% because a lot of those folks were recruited from rehabilitation units and already on a good path for a good opportunity in their lives. So those are the strengths and weaknesses of iBakery. Now Raquel is going to discuss competing in the market and sustainability. Thank you.